Lovely. So good morning and thanks a million for joining me on the yoga mat this morning. This week's focus is all about those lovely happy hips. So we're going to try to create a little bit more space into the front of the hips, but also engagement into those glutes and into the hip flexors as well. So just because we're creating space and stretching into the front of the hips, we still want to re-engage with those muscles. So often if the muscles are really, really tight, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily strong. In fact, they're probably overused and a little bit weak. So we'll try and get a little bit into strengthening those areas as well this morning. Hopefully just noticing how you're sitting right now. So we're coming to a nice easy cross-legged seat and just noticing where those knees are at. So if they aren't quite high, chances are those hip flexors are probably a little bit tight. Hopefully by the end of the class, those knees will have come down a little bit. But again, just kind of noticing, making a little mental check here of where they're at right now. We're going to start with the palms rested on the knees. We're going to relax the shoulders back. We're really opening into that heart space, sitting as tall as we can through the spine. And just relax the breath, relax the shoulders. So think about growing toward the ceiling. We're going to inhale, press the chest all the way over to the right. Bring it through center, all the way over to the left. And as we exhale, tuck the chin and round into that upper back and continue with your own breath. So lovely full circular movements. So we're inhaling forward as we take the gaze forward and we're exhaling back as we tuck that chin toward the chest. And continue, nice large circles to your own breath and slow it right down. Really trying to get into all the joints here. So we're rolling into the shoulders, into the neck, into the elbows, feeling that into the hip, one sole a little bit more than the other. See if we can lengthen from the lower back, so really pressing that chest forward. Maybe close down the eyes, just to let yourself go with the movements. Relax the breath, softly in and out through the nose if you can. Again, getting a nice little stretch into the sides of the neck. Again, really just warming up into the soft tissue here. We're going to pause at center. We'll reverse the crisscross of the legs just to balance out those hips. Palms are rested. We'll inhale, press the chest all the way over to the left through center, all the way over to the right. And as we exhale, tuck the chin and around and continue. Again, using the heels of the hands, pressing them into the legs to draw ourselves a little bit further forward and bring ourselves a little bit further back. And again, really exaggerate that movement. Notice how it feels one side comparing to the other. Softening the body, softening the breath. And just awakening up the body here. This is a lovely one to do first thing in the morning, even if this is all you do. These, your cat-cow curls, your hip circles, just get nice and deep into those joints without overstretching, without over-engaging. Just nice and loose. We're going to meet back at center when you're ready. Again, sitting nice and tall. We'll open the palms to the ceiling. And then inhale both arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward and really stretch between those shoulder blades. And we'll do that twice more. So a nice big stretch. As we inhale, take the gaze up. And as we exhale, press forward and release. So we'll do that once more. We're going to get straight into those hips. So we're going to pick the right foot up. We're going to place it into the left hand. Draw the toe toward the knee. Place the right knee into the right hand. Sit nice and tall. See if we can bring the shin a little bit higher without collapsing into the spine. And then we're just going to gently rock into that right hip really, really slowly. So we're drawing the knee right back and we're bringing that right foot all the way across the body. If that left foot is in the way, feel free to straighten it out or bring it to whatever place feels a little bit more comfortable. And again, we're just looking for a nice natural range here, not in force, but don't be afraid to bring that foot right back all the way across the body. We're getting a wee bit into the hamstring here too. So again, not pushing it. So again, just really creating a little bit of movement, a little bit of fluidity into that hip joint. Eventually we meet back at center, hugging chest to shin, shin to chest. If you feel it going a little bit deeper into the hip, we can place the foot into the left elbow crease and the knee into the right, catching hold of that shin. Either way, we're hugging that shin toward the body. And then if it feels good, we're going to make a few little circles onto that right sit bone, but try to make them as large as we can. So we're more so getting into the muscle than that insertion point. There shouldn't be any pain, pinching or numbness here. And if there is, just come back to stillness, hugging that shin in. So it should feel nice. It should feel that you're really working into that glute muscle. But again, we are close to an insertion point. So again, the bigger we make those circles, the nicer it's going to feel. We're going to reverse opposite direction. And again, only if it feels good. I'm just noticing any little point of that circle where it feels a little bit more tense. And just breathing into that space. Eventually we move back and see at center. Options here, most of us will come back into easy cross-legged with the right foot out front. If you want to go for log pose, we might stack that right ankle on top of the left knee, right knee on top of the left ankle, and draw the toes toward each other. If that right knee is up in the air, I'd encourage you to come back into easy cross-legged until those hips are a little bit more open naturally. We're going to draw the toes toward the knees, sitting as tall as we can through the spine. We might stay here, that might be more than enough. Otherwise, we're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up. And as we exhale, reaching forward through the fingertips, we're going to fold, lengthening through the spine all the time. Reach, 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 and then we place those hands down to the ground. As we inhale, lengthen forward. And as we exhale, fold. Relax the head, relax the neck. See if we can press the ground away and draw those sit bones back a little bit further. Every inhale, lengthening forward through the spine, maybe walking those fingertips forward. And every exhale, folding a little bit closer toward the ground. And again, don't get too caught up with how far forward you're folding. Once you're feeling that space in the spine, we're going to feel that into the hip, the right hip. Relaxing a little bit more into that space in the exhale. And for a lot, this isn't the most comfortable position in the world. So just really breathe into the space. Once there's no pain, we can deal with discomfort, but no pain. One more breath. Gently tuck the chin in, slowly walk the hands back toward the body. We're going to place the right foot out front. We'll place that left foot out to meet it. We're going to bring the hands behind us, fingertips back, pressing into the ground, opening into the heart. Feet are nice and wide here. We're going to inhale at center. And as we exhale, drop the knees over to the right as we look over the left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, knees drop to the left as we look over the right shoulder. And continue with your own breath. Making sure those feet are wide enough apart that the opposite knee has space to fall behind the opposite foot. Really pressing those sit bones into the ground, getting a little bit of a self-massage here as well. And try to get the knees all the way down to the ground if you can. Eventually we'll be back at center. Coming back into our easy crisscross. We're going to pick the left foot up, place it into the right hand, draw the toe toward the knee, left knee into the left hand, sit nice and tall. Maybe bring the shin a little bit higher. And again, we'll rock into that left hip. Really slowly. Again, we're just guiding the movement using those hands. But don't be afraid to draw that left knee right back, draw that left foot all the way across the body. Maintaining that lovely length in the spine, that lovely engagement with the core. But again, strong focus here into that left hip, a little bit into the hamstring, but again, not going too intense, just warming up into the joint and into the soft tissue around the joint. Relax the breath, slowly, slowly. Nice and easy. And eventually when we meet back at center, hugging chest to shin, shin to chest. Pause here, maybe place the foot into the right elbow crease and the knee into the left. And again, remain here, or we might draw a few circles into that left sit bone. And again, trying to make them as large as we can. So we're getting a little bit more into the fleshy part of the muscle, as opposed to where that muscle attaches to the sit bone. So again, nice and easy, and only if it feels good. So no pinching, no pain, no numbness, just a nice sense of release. Relaxing into the movement, and we can reverse those circles. And again, that right foot can be anywhere that feels comfortable and stable for you. So if you need to move it too. Nice and easy. And eventually we'll meet back at center. Again, most of us will come back into easy cross-legged with the left foot out front, otherwise log pose, left ankle stacked on top of right knee, left knee stacked on top of right ankle. And you might find that that left knee mightn't come down as easy maybe as the right. So just listen into any little imbalances that may be there. Draw the toes toward the knees, sitting nice and tall in the spine. Stay here. Otherwise, we're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up. And as we exhale, gently fold, reaching through the fingertips as far as we can. We're going to rest the hands to the ground, rest the head, rest the neck. As we inhale, lengthen forward through the crown of the head, and as we exhale, gently fold. Walking those fingertips forward. Maybe see if we can press the ground away, really draw those sit bones back, feeling that in the lower spine. Allow the head and neck relax, and you'll feel the whole posterior chain of the body release here. Every inhale, think about lengthening the spine, and every exhale, folding, releasing a little bit more. One more breath. Gently tuck the chin in, slowly walk the hands back toward the body. We're going to place the left foot out in front. We place that right foot out to meet it. Again, feet are wider and hip width distance apart. Hands are behind us. We're pressing into the ground, opening into the heart. Inhale at center, and as we exhale, drop the knees over to the right. Look over the left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, knees drop to the left as we look over the right shoulder. And again, continue just one screen wide, bring those knees side to side. Releasing internally, externally into those hips. Getting the knees as close to the ground, if not to the ground. Again, just gently mobilizing. We're going to come back to center. And from here, we're going to straighten both legs out in front. Get nice and comfortable in the sit bones. We'll hug the right knee in. We're going to place the right ankle just above the left knee into our figure four. Draw the right toe toward the knee. We place the right hand on the inner knee, sitting nice and tall. We're going to inhale, press the knee into the hand, and as we exhale, release. So inhale, activating, pressing knee into hands. Exhale, soften. We'll do that 3 more times. So again, it's only on that inhale we're activating. Exhale, release. 2 more. Lovely. We might stay here, just working that right knee toward the ground. If you feel like going a little bit deeper, we're going to bring the hands behind us, fingertips point back, softening the left knee to flatten that left foot to the ground, all the time pressing that right knee away from us. If you want to go deeper again, we can work the heel toward the sit bone toward the heel. Try not to collapse into those shoulders. So again, still nice and open in the heart. Always drawing that right toe toward the knee and always pressing that knee away from the body. Notice where that left foot is at. We're going to try to bring it out in line with that left knee, so it's not toward the center. And we're just going to breathe here for a couple of breaths. Nice deep inhale as we lengthen through the body. And as we exhale, deepen into that right hip. And don't force it, just go till you feel a nice gentle release. So you don't need to go too deep in here. So again, releasing into the hip. We've got our glute, piriformis, lovely one for working into if you suffer from sciatica. Softening with each exhale. 1 more breath. Lovely. We're going to straighten that left leg out. We bring the sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Bring the right hand behind us. Fingertips point back. We're going to inhale the left arm up. And as we exhale, lift those hips as high as you can toward the ceiling. Pressing right hand, right knee, left foot firmly into the ground. Reaching back through the fingertips and maybe take the gaze back. So as we inhale, lengthen through that left arm. And as we exhale, lift those hips a little bit higher. 1 more breath. And then slowly release all the way down to the ground. We're going to bring that right foot in to meet left. Again, get nice and comfortable in those sit bones. Hugging the left knee in, and we're going to rest the left ankle just above the knee, or just below if it doesn't quite get there. Left hand is on the inner knee, sitting nice and tall. We're going to inhale, press the knee into the hand, and as we exhale, release. Inhale, activate. Exhale, release. 3 more. And again, just notice if this one's a little bit stiffer than the other side. So it's a really nice time to tune into any little imbalances, particularly in those hips. Noticing. Sometimes it can be just what we did the day before, how we slept, but just if it's something that keeps reoccurring. We'll do one more. Lovely. Again, we can stay here. That might be enough. Otherwise, bring the hands behind us, fingertips point back, pressing into the ground. Softening the right knee to flatten out the foot. We might stay here, just working that left knee away from the body. If you want to go deeper, if you have that space, heel towards sit bone toward heel. Keep pressing into the ground. So again, we're not collapsing into those lovely shoulders. And we're pressing that left knee away all the time. The knee should feel stable. So by drawing that left toe toward the knee, we're engaging those lower leg muscles. And that right foot is in line with that right knee. Softening into the space. And again, just noticing how it feels comparing to the right. Lengthening through the spine, opening into the heart on the inhale. And on the exhale, getting a little bit more into that left hip. Nothing forced here. 2 more breaths. Last one. Excellent. We're going to straighten the right leg out if it's not there already, bringing the sole of that left foot to the inner thigh. The left hand comes behind us. We're going to inhale the right arm up, and as we exhale, lift those hips as high as you can toward the ceiling. We're reaching back through those right fingertips. Pressing the right foot, left knee, left hand into the ground. Nice and strong. Drawing the belly button in. No pressure in that lower back. One more breath. And then slowly release all the way back down to the ground. We're going to bring that right foot back into meet left. And then from here, we're going to come to lie back onto our mats. Just making sure that our block and our strap are there beside us within reach. So lying back onto the ground, knees are bent, feet are flat to start with. We're going to hug the right knee into the chest, straighten that left leg out. Right hand rests on the shin, left hand is on the left hip bone. We're going to inhale, press the shin into the hand. And as we exhale, draw that right knee outside the line of the body toward the ground beside us. Inhale, press shin into hand. Exhale, open into that hip space. Continuing here with your own breath. So we're activating on the inhale, releasing, opening on the exhale, working into our deep psoas muscle here. As mentioned before, one of the few, if only, muscles that attaches both into the leg and also the spine. It runs across the front of the hip complex or into the hip complex. And when it gets tight, it can cause all sorts of issues. So again, just spending a little bit of time here to open and feel that space into the psoas. One more breath. We'll inhale back to center. We're going to place the left hand on the shin, extend the right arm out in line with the shoulder, palm down. We'll shift the hip to the right and then draw the right leg across the body to the left. Lovely little spinal twist. Left hand rests on the outer thigh. We're looking over toward those right fingertips. Feeling that into the right glute so that knee is in line with the hip. If we're not fully in the twist, just shift the hips a little bit more to the right, feeling that space. If you want to go deeper into the left hip, we can bend the left knee, walk the left foot as far out to the right as we possibly can. We can stay here, or we might reach to catch hold of the front of the foot, drawing that right shoulder down to the ground. Nice full belly breath here. If we have caught hold of the foot, we can press the foot into the hand or strap and just really feel that sensation into the front of the left hip and quad. Again, option only. And the pretzel twist. Massaging out the core and spine with that lovely deep belly breath. Exaggerate the breath into the belly. One more. Excellent. We'll extend both arms back out, straighten the left leg, and slowly roll our way back onto our mats. Tugging the left knee in, we're going to straighten that right foot down to the ground. Left hand is on the shin, right hand is on the right hip bone. We'll inhale, press the shin into the hand, And as we exhale, open into that left hip space. So again, drawing that left knee down toward the ground outside the line of the body. Every inhale, we're activating. And every exhale, we're opening. Keeping that right hip pressed down, keeping that lower back pressed firmly into the ground. So nice full belly breaths here. And again, just notice how that feels comparing to the other side. And again, as mentioned before, sometimes when the psoas muscle is tight, it's not just a muscular thing. So it tends to tighten up into the organs of the abdominal cavity. So sometimes it can affect our digestive patterns. So again, something not to miss or ignore if we are suffering from any digestive issues. Just releasing into the psoas can actually have quite a large effect. One more breath. And just enjoy that space. We're going to draw the left knee back in. Right hand is on the shin, left arm extends out in line with the shoulder palm down. We'll shift the hip to the left and then draw the left leg across the body to the right. Right hand rests on the outer thigh. We're looking over toward the left fingertips. That left shoulder is glued to the ground. And again, if we feel we're not fully in the twist, just shift the hip a little bit more to the left. Ideally, that left hip is stacked on top of the right, and both hip bones are centered down the midline of the mat. And if we want to go a little bit further into the right hip, we can bend the right knee, walk that right foot as far out to the left as we can. We might even reach to catch hold of the front of the foot with the left hand, or maybe wrap a strap around the foot. Again, option only if it's accessible. And if we have that, we can press the foot into the hand or strap. Keep drawing that left shoulder down, keep drawing that left leg across the body. Nice full belly breaths here in our twist. In and out softly through the nose, getting as deep as we can into the belly. One more breath. Lovely, release the grip, extend the arms right back out. We're going to straighten the right leg, slowly rolling back onto our mats. And then we'll hug that right knee back into meet left. We're going to rest both feet down to the ground. Little bridge variation here. We're going to start with the knees and feet together. Hands are to the ground, fingertips brush the backs of those heels or as close as we can. We're going to press the feet into the ground, gently peel the lower middle upper back off the ground as we lift those hips high. We're going to walk the shoulder blades together. Taking the pressure off the head now. Lifting through the hips. I want you to imagine the space between the belly and the heart center slightly shrinking, so we're really engaged with the frontal core muscle. We can stay here or follow me. We're going to inhale, straighten the right leg. As we exhale, draw the right knee in toward the chest. Inhale, straighten the right leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, knee toward chest. Inhale, straighten the right leg out. Exhale, right foot to the ground. Left side. Keep the hips high all the time. Inhale, straighten the left leg out. Exhale, knee toward chest. Inhale, straighten the left leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straighten the left leg out in front. Exhale, left foot to the ground. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straighten the right foot up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straighten the right leg out, knees together. Exhale, right foot to the ground, left side. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straighten the left leg up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straighten the left leg out. Exhale, left foot to the ground. Keep the hips lifted. Take a breather if you need to rest the hips down for one breath. We have one side or one set left to do. Again, all the time, we're trying to maintain those hips high. Okay, last round when you're ready. Inhale, straighten the right leg out. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straighten the right leg up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straighten the right leg out. Exhale, right foot to the ground. Last side. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straighten the left leg up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straighten the left leg out. Exhale, left foot to the ground. We're going to slowly release all the way down to the mat. Bringing the feet the width of the mat apart, allow the knees fall to touch. Opening those arms into cactus, pressing that lower back into the ground. This in itself is a lovely hip release, even if you don't do anything else. We're going to inhale at center, and as we exhale, drop the knees over to the right as we look over the left shoulder. Inhale back through center, exhale, knees drop to the left as we look over the right shoulder. Continue with your own breath, gently windscreen wiping those knees side to side, pressing the knees all the way down to the ground if you can. Really pressing the glutes and lower back into the ground. A little bit of self-massage here. Relax the breath, opening into the heart, looking over the opposite shoulder. So we're getting a little spinal rotation here too. And then eventually we'll meet back at center. Lovely. We're going to hug the knees in toward the armpits and just make a few little circles, figure eights into that lower back. Hips are nice and relaxed here, shoulders relaxed. Again, just a gentle self-massage into that lower back, melting into the hips. Coming to stillness, we'll bring the knees together, crisscross of the ankles. Options to make your way anyway to seat, or you can rock and roll just the once. We're going to bring ourselves forward into a nice strong seat at the front of the mat. Bringing those hands forward, fingers widely spread. We'll shift the body weight forward to step back onto the knees and center ourselves in the middle of our mat in a nice strong tabletop. Shoulders over, elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward, knees hip width distance apart. Toes can be tucked or untucked, your choice. And just notice if the belly's collapsed, we're going to draw the belly button in, flattening out that lower back. Inhale, draw the chest forward as we take the gaze up and arch the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, take the gaze back to the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, tuck the chin into the chest, and continue with your own breath. Nice, generous cat-cow curls. Feel free to bring those knees a little bit wider apart if it feels better on the lower back and hips. Active through the arms and shoulders, so really actively pressing the ground away. Feel free to close the eyes down and really internalize the feeling. Imagining the spine like a string of beads, and we're trying to draw those beads apart. So creating as much space, movement, freedom, the whole length of that spine. Sigh the breath out if it feels good. Getting a little bit of movement into the neck, the shoulders. And again, you really cannot do too many of these, particularly first thing in the morning, just really wakening up into the body. We're going to meet back in our tabletop when you're ready. From our tabletop, I want you to imagine there's a box out to your right. We're going to straighten that right leg back, pressing away through the heel. We're going to bend the right knee and we're going to open that right hip, pressing the sole of the right foot as far to the left as we can, so we feel that right glute engage and feel space into the front of the right hip. So that box is out to the right. We're going to draw the right knee around, up and over that box, keeping the foot and knee high, and then we're going to touch the knee to the elbow and bring it back to the start. So nice big hip circles. Rotate the hip. Inhale, knee all the way out, drawing it in toward the elbow, and then exhale, press it back to the start. Rotate. Continue with your own breath. Gaze is relaxed, and we're just looking at that space between the hands. Neck is neutral, an extension of the spine. Arms are strong, so try not to collapse into the elbows here if we can. And the object is to keep that knee and foot as high as we can for as long as we can. So we're really working into that deep right hip. Keep drawing the belly in so that core is nice and switched on. And this is quite a strong movement. Moving nice and slow, mindfully into that right hip. Noticing any little kicks or pops or plunks. I'm trying to iron out any niggles, just using the movement itself. We'll take one more nice big hip circle wherever we are.
Meeting with sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling. We're going to straighten the leg, land on the ball of the right foot, and just gently press away through the heel for 3. For 2. And 1. Right knee comes in to meet left. Same on the other side. We're going to straighten the left leg, lifting it up. Pressing away through the heel, we'll bend the left knee. We're going to rotate that hip open, pressing the sole of the foot as far to the right as we can. Inhale, draw the left knee out, up and over and around that imaginary box. We're going to touch the knee to the elbow and then bring it all the way back to the start. Rotate the hip. Inhale, left knee out, up and around. Exhale back. Continue with your own breath. So it's nice big circles. We're not just drawing the knee forward and back. We're creating lovely big hip circles here. That's the aim for this one. Opening, releasing, engaging. Pressing those hands strongly into the ground. No pressure in the shoulders. And again, just notice how this feels compared to the other side. It might be a little bit easier. It might be a little bit more restricted, weaker. And again, just tuning into those little imbalances that may or may not be there. Last nice big hip circle. And we're going to meet with the sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling. Straighten the leg, landing on the ball of the left foot. We press away through the heel for 3. For 2. And 1. Back into our tabletop. From here, we're going to keep the left hand grounded. Straighten that right arm out in front. We're going to lift the left leg back, pressing away through the heel. Again, notice if the belly's collapsed, drawing the belly in. We're going to inhale, right elbow, left knee into touch. And then exhale, lengthen it out, lifting that back leg as high as we can go with a straight leg. Inhale, right elbow, left knee into touch. Exhale, lengthen it out. Continue with your own breath. So gaze can either be to the ground if you want to challenge the balance. We might follow the right middle finger with the gaze. So a moving point of focus, or drishti point in yoga. Lengthening on the inhale. Again, really lifting that back leg as high as we can go, feeling the glute and hamstring engage, lower back engage. Wherever we are, we're going to meet with that arm out front, that foot behind. Inhale here, and as we exhale, reach the right arm out to the right, left foot out to the left. We're going to rest the left foot to the ground and bring that right hand back in to meet left. We're going to start with the right toe tucked under, pressing outer blade of that left foot into the ground. We might stay here. That might be more than enough. If we want to go a little bit further, we can sit back toward the right heel. If we want to go a little bit further again, we can untuck the right toe and sit all the way back. If we're here, we might walk the hands forward. We might come onto the forearms. So again, we're feeling that in the inner left hip and thigh and the outer lower left ankle, lower leg. Again, pressing the outer blade of that left foot to the ground. Relax the head, relax the neck. Just softening into that space. Release the breath for 3. For 2. And 1, gently tuck the chin in, slowly come back up onto the hands. And then we bring that left knee back in to meet right. Lovely. Right hand is grounded. We're going to lengthen out through the left arm, press back through the right foot, nice and active. Again, drawing the belly button in. Lovely engagement in the core. Inhale, left elbow, right knee into touch. Exhale, lengthen it out, lifting that back leg. Inhale slowly in. Exhale, extend it out. Again, you can follow that left middle finger with the gaze, a moving point of focus. Otherwise, gaze remains to the ground, nice and neutral spine. Shoulders stacked over wrists, so we're not collapsing into that right wrist joint. And we're pressing into the ground, strong in the arm. Slowly, slowly. Mindfully moving into the body. Last 2. Last 1. And we're going to meet with that arm out front, that foot behind. We'll inhale at center, and as we exhale, bring the left hand out to the left, right foot all the way out to the right. We're going to land the right foot to the ground. Left hand comes back into meet right. Pressing outer blade of that right foot into the ground, we might stay here. We'll start with the left toe tucked under, maybe sit back toward the heel if it feels good. If that feels good, we want to go deeper, we can untuck the toe and sit all the way back toward the heel. But again, really trying to press the outer blade of that right foot to the ground. Maybe walking the hands forward, maybe coming down onto the forearms. Wherever we are, relax the head, relax the neck. So sitting high or low, whatever feels good for you. Once you're getting that nice little release into the inner right hip and leg and the outer lower leg and ankle. Softening with each exhale, relax the head, relax the neck, softly, softly. For 3. For 2. And 1, tuck the chin in, slowly come back up onto the hands, and we bring that right knee back into meet left, back into our tabletop. We're going to walk the finger pads or the hands out in front, fingers widely spread. We'll tuck the toes under. Looking back toward the toes, we're going to press the hands and feet into the ground. Gently lift those hips as high as we can and lower those heels down toward the ground, coming into our downward dog. Pressing the ground away, try to draw the chest a little bit closer toward the mat. We're just going to gently paddle out those feet, allowing opposite heels melt softly toward the ground, keeping that lovely heart space, keeping those hips lifted, feeling that space into the lower back. We're just getting a nice little release into the calves, Achilles, hamstrings, working into the feet. Drawing the belly in, head and neck fully relaxed. We're looking back toward the knees, maybe even toward the belly, depending on where we're at. Relax the breath. Looking forward between the hands, we're going to gently walk our way to the front of the mat, coming into a nice wide-legged forward fold, softening at the knees until the belly can rest onto the legs. Hands, arms, shoulders, head, neck fully released. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out, let it go. Gently tuck the chin in. We're going to slowly roll our way all the way up the stand. Head comes up last, nice and easy. Ooh, take a nice little drink here if you wish. And we're going to go move into the flow part of our class this morning. So we're after spending quite a lot of time mobilizing the hips, activating the muscles within the hips, and now we're going to try and integrate it into a nice little flow. So meeting at the front of the mat, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Relax the shoulders, lengthening tall through the spine. We'll inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to step that right foot back, almost like we're setting up for a warrior. So back foot parallel to the back edge of the mat, and then we're going to bring the left foot parallel to the front edge of the mat. So we're facing the side wall. We'll splay those feet out at about 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, so nice and wide. Hands remain at heart. We're going to inhale at center. And as we exhale, bending into the right knee, I want you to make sure the right knee is bending over the foot and not collapsing into the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bend the left knee, again, pointing over that left foot. Continue with your own breath. So again, you might want to splay those feet a little bit wider than 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, depending on where you're at personally. But what you do want to happen is that knee is tracking over the foot and not inward. So if it's tracking inward, chances are the hips are probably a little bit tight, so they're pulling on the hip. But we have control here. Each time, see if we can go a little bit deeper. We're not bouncing into the hip, keeping the spine long, keeping that core strong. But again, just gradually creating a wee bit more space here. We're also engaging with the hip muscles here as well as lengthening. So opposite leg is doing the opposite job. Eventually we meet back at center. And from here, we're going to soften right down into our goddess squat, but only go as deep as feels good for you. So ideally, hamstrings are parallel to the ground, but again, just go as deep as feels good for you. We're going to inhale, straighten the legs, bring the arms together all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we bend the knees and lower into our goddess squat. Inhale, arms out, reaching up, palms together, legs are straight. Exhale, hands to heart as we lower into our squat and continue with your own breath. Again, noticing those knees, if they're collapsing inward in the squat, we're going to try to engage with those glutes to open those knees outward. Again, only sinking as deeply as feels good for your hips this morning. Knees are stable, hips are stable, heart is open. We're lengthening on the inhale. Deepening, releasing on the exhale. We'll take 2 more. Nice big circles. Last one. We're going to meet in our goddess squat. Stay here if we can, resting the right forearm onto the right leg. We're going to inhale the left arm out, up toward the ceiling, and as we exhale, swoop that left arm all the way overhead across the body. We're going to rest the left forearm onto the left leg. Inhale, right arm out, up, over and around, nice big circles. And again, we're going to replace that right forearm to the right leg. Inhale, left arm up, nice big circle, swooping it all the way overhead, left forearm to the leg. Continue right arm with your own breath. Following that hand with the gaze. 1 more, both sides. Last one. Excellent. And gently straighten those legs. We're going to bring that right foot parallel to the back edge of the mat. Flip the left foot forward. And then with control, we'll step that right foot up to meet left, meeting at the front of the mat. Flowing it out for the last wee bit. Hands to heart. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, right hand stays grounded. Inhale, the left arm up and open the heart. Exhale, left hand to the ground. Dropping right heel down, engage the core up into a warrior, extend the arms, palms face down, softening into the left knee. Right foot parallel to the back edge of the mat. Left knee is tracking forward. We're going to follow that left middle finger with the gaze. Inhale, straighten the left leg, arms together overhead, palms together, look up. Exhale, bend the left knee, warrior lunge. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Exhale, bend the left knee, open the arms, warrior. Last one. Meeting in a warrior, we'll cartwheel both hands down either side of the foot. Coming onto the ball of the right, we'll rest the right knee down, cushion it if you need. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlock fingers just above the left knee. Inhale, lengthen tall through the spine. Exhale, sink, release the hips. 2 more. Keeping that left knee where it's at. All the movement into the hip. Feel that space into the front of the right hip. Last one. The right hand comes to the outer side of the left leg. Inhale the left arm up, and as we exhale, gently twist to the left. We're going to bring that left arm behind us. Maybe bring that left hand to the back of the leg. Inhale the right arm up, flip the palm, and as we exhale, reach the right arm to the back of the room, looking over the shoulder, bending deeply into the left knee, feeling that into the right hip for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, arms back wide open. Exhale, turn to the front, hands to heart. Frame the left foot will come off the knee. Gently shift the body weight forward to step that right foot up to meet left. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping, left foot back to lunge, left hand stays grounded. We'll inhale the right arm up, opening the heart. Exhale, right hand to the ground. Dropping left heel down, engage the core up into a warrior. Extend the arms, palms face down, softening into that right hip, following that right middle finger with the gaze. Inhale, straighten the right leg, arms together overhead, look up. Exhale, bend the right knee, warrior lunge, 2 more. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Exhale, warrior lunge, last one. Cartwheeling both hands down either side of the foot, coming onto the ball of the left. Soften the left knee to the ground, cushion it if you need. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart, interlock fingers just above the knee. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, sink the hips. 2 more. Keep drawing the belly in, nice and strong. And last one. Left hand comes to the outer thigh. We inhale the right arm up, and as we exhale, gently twist to the right, bring the right arm behind us, press on that shoulder back. Maybe bring that right hand to the back of the leg. Inhale, left arm up, flip the palm, and as we exhale, reach the left arm to the back of the room, looking over the right shoulder, bending deeply into that right knee for 3. For 2. And 1. Inhale, arms back wide open. Exhale, turn to the front, hands to heart. Framing the right foot, coming off the left knee. We'll gently shift the body weight forward to lift the left foot up to meet right. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Second round when you're ready. Meeting at the front, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart. Relax the shoulders. Lengthening tall through the spine. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shin. Exhale, fold. Stepping, right foot back to lunge, right hand stays grounded. Inhale, left arm up and open the heart. Exhale, left hand to the ground. Dropping right heel down, engage the core up into a warrior, extend the arms, palms face down, softening into that left knee. Inhale, straighten the left leg, arms together overhead, look up. Exhale, bend the left knee, warrior, 2 more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, warrior. Last one, nice and strong. From our warrior, cartwheel both hands down either side of the foot, coming onto the ball of the right foot. Option here to keep the right knee on or off the ground, your choice. Inhale, both arms out, reach it up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we sink into the hips. We'll interlock fingers over that left knee. If that right knee is off the ground, it's not bent, nice straight leg, pressing back through the right heel, nice and stable. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, sink the hip, 2 more. Keep drawing the belly in, relax those shoulders back together. Last one. Right hand comes to the outer thigh. Inhale, the left arm up. And as we exhale, gently twist to the left, bringing that left arm behind us. Again, remember, right knee can be on or off the ground. Bring the left hand to the back of the leg. Inhale, the right arm up, flip the palm. And as we exhale, reach the right arm to the back of the room, looking over the shoulder, bending into the left knee wherever we are for 3. Reaching through that right arm for 2. And 1. Inhale, arms back wide open. Exhale, turn to the front, hands to heart. Framing the foot with both hands, coming off the knee if we're not there already. We'll shift the body weight forward to step the right foot up to meet left. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, last side, swan dive, forward, fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, left hand stays grounded. We'll inhale the right arm up and open the heart. Exhale, right hand to the ground, dropping left heel down. Engage the core up into a warrior. Extend the arms, palms face down. Right knee, right foot are pointed forward. We're following that right middle finger with the gaze. Inhale, straighten the right leg, arms together overhead, look up. Exhale, bend the right knee, warrior lunge, 2 more. Nice and strong, drawing those inner thighs toward each other, pressing those feet firmly into the earth. The last one. Cartwheeling both hands down either side of the foot, coming onto the ball of the left. Left knee on or off the ground. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we sink into the hip. Interlock fingers just above the right knee. Nice and active through that left leg and heel. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, sink the hips. 2 more. Relax the shoulders, relax the gaze. Last one. Left hand to the outer thigh. We're going to inhale the right arm up. And as we exhale, gently twist to the right, bring that right arm behind us, looking back toward the thumb. Maybe bring the right hand to the back of the leg. Inhale, left arm up, flip the palm. And as we exhale, reach the left arm to the back of the room, looking over the shoulder, bending into the right knee for 3, for 2, and 1. Opening those arms nice and wide. We'll inhale slowly back to the front. Framing the right foot, both hands. Off the knee if we're not there already. We'll shift the body weight forward to step the left foot up to meet right and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Well done. For our last pose this morning, we're going to work it into our wide-legged child's pose or our frog pose. So I'm just going to bring my mat so that it's a little bit easier to see what I'm doing. So first off, if you have quite a skinny mat and if you do have kind of any tenderness spots on the knees, you can always roll your mat up and make a little bit of extra cushioning for those knees. Likewise, you can use towels or any piece of material. You might be fine, but just in case. So we're going to start like we're starting for our wide-legged child's pose. And just notice sometimes it can be a little bit tender on the front of the feet, particularly if it's the hard surface. So again, a little towel underneath the front of the ankles can help with this one as well. So again, this might be where we stay, just working those knees apart, sitting back onto the heels. If that feels good, we might stay in our wide-legged child's pose, just making a little pillow by tying one hand, one fist on top of the other. If you want to work a little bit deeper into your frog pose this morning, and again, option only, we're going to walk the hands forward until those sit bones are in line with the knees. And at this stage, we might even bring those knees a little bit wider. From here, we can come down onto the forearms, but keep the hips nice and high. And we might even shift the hips forward and back until we find that nice little sweet spot release. So it's usually where the hips are in line with the knees. So we're not sitting too far forward because we're just compressing into the lower back here. And we're not sitting too far back unless we have chosen already to come into our wide-legged child's pose and stay here. So find that spot if that feels good. We can either walk the hands forward, resting the forehead and chest toward the ground, or sometimes it's nice to make a little pillow, piling one hand, one fist on top of the other, and just resting the forehead here. And again, for most, this will be more than enough. If you want to come into your full frog expression, we can bring those lower legs out at 90-degree angles at the knee and at the ankles. But just make sure the feet are rested on the ground. And if they're not, just bring the feet a little bit closer toward each other or sit back a little bit more. And again, even here, maybe shift the hips forward and back until you find that sweet spot release. And we're just going to stay here for about a minute. We're not going to stay much longer than that this morning. And then just find that space that you can release into. So I don't want you to feel that you're holding the pose, more so that you found a space that feels good. And you're just going to release there. Allowing the breath, gravity, the weight of the body, bring us a little bit deeper if it feels good, but not forcing it. We don't need to go too deep here to feel the effect. And again, I'd encourage you to not do this pose straight out of bed first thing in the morning. Just make sure those muscles and joints are a little bit warmed up before we go as deep. Softening the belly, softening the breath, melting that chest toward the ground. And if at any stage frog pose is too intense, feel free to sit back onto the heels into a lovely wide-legged child's pose. So it's all about the hips this morning, whatever way we get there. It just depends on how we're feeling. Again, we tend to hold a lot of emotion in those hips. So sometimes this pose can feel a little bit raw, a little bit exposed. Again, just close down the eyes and breathe with it. Once there's no pain, there's no numbness, there's no tingling. Discomfort we can deal with, breathing into that space. Not ignoring it, not fighting it. Last couple of breaths here, nice and soft into the body. So if you have come into your full frog, I'm just going to invite you to bend at the knees and bring those feet a little bit closer back toward each other. So we're kind of coming out of the intensity of the pose. And then everybody else, slowly we're going to come up onto the forearms and we're shifting all that weight into the forearms. So there's no weight in the hips here. And then really slowly, we're going to start to walk those knees a little bit closer toward each other until we can get at least the big toes to touch. And then from here, we walk the hands back toward the body until we can sit back up onto the heels and just allow the hips reset here, particularly if we have gone quite deep, maybe rock the hips a little bit side to side. So really slowly out of the pose, no sudden movements. And when that feels good, we can walk those knees toward each other. Again, maybe a little reset here. And then when we feel good, when we feel ready, we're going to roll back out our mats and we're going to meet in a nice, easy cross-legged seat for our final pose this morning. So coming back to where we started, just checking in again, seeing where those knees are at comparing to the start of the class. And they might be in the exact same place. Hopefully you feel though a little bit more space and a little bit more engagement either way. Sitting as tall as we can through the spine. Relax the shoulders back. We're going to open the palms to the ceiling. Softening the breath. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward, release the breath, sigh it out and let it go. We'll do that twice more. So a nice big stretch. And release. Last one. Gently bringing the hands to heart, press the palms together, close down the eyes, and just thank yourselves for creating a wee bit of space in your morning to come to the mat, to look after yourself, to create some lovely energy, strength, and release, and hopefully take that with you into the day and into the week ahead. And thank you for sharing your practice and your energy with me.